Hello, welcome to MyWebUniversity free educational videos. Today I'm going to show you how to create a clone for a virtual machine and using VirtualBox. So the virtual machine that we have is RedHat, Rocky Linux, and Ubuntu. Three of these ones are instance of virtual machines that are already created on the VirtualBox. So without further ado, let me just go through a slideshow. On this one, you will be presented with three instances, in particular, Red Hat virtual machine, Rocky, and then Linux Ubuntu. So let's just get started with the virtual machine. And so before we do that one, let me just introduce you to MyWebUniversity free education videos, where I present you a lot of videos in the topic of computer science related courses, in particular operating systems such as Linux, Unix, Mac, or Windows, as well as programming languages such as C, C++, Python, shell scripting, awk programming, a lot of number of applications, how-tos and documentation, everything. So you're welcome to subscribe to our channel if you have not done it. And there's some full courses that you can see as well. You're watching those ones and you will learn a lot from it. So let's get started with today's topic, which is this PowerPoint presentation, how to create clone of a VirtualBox. So I'm going to show you on Red Hat, Rocky Linux, and Ubuntu. And first of all, let me introduce you to the VirtualBox platform here. The VirtualBox is a software that works like a hypervisor or similar to VMware, but VirtualBox is free. VMware costs you. And then although VMware also is free to just use for development purpose, but if you want support, you have to pay for it. But VirtualBox is free, and then also if you do want Oracle support, then you have to pay for it. But VirtualBox, you can do it on your platforms, for Windows platforms, for Linux, and for Mac, for Linux servers or Linux Mint and other ones. You could just create basically VirtualBox software in any platforms, and then about VirtualBox, it tells you that VirtualBox 7.0 I'm running currently. So I'm going to show you and that I have these instance of VirtualBox VMs that I have, and the one that is highlighted currently is Rocky version 9.2, Rocky Linux Enterprise version. So I'm going to start that one to show you how the interface is before I just take a clone of it. And the reason you create a clone of it is because you want to have a safe endpoint, kind of a snapshot at a point that you create a clone. You say, okay, I have done all the update and everything is done. Now I just want to get a clone of it. So if something happens to the main one, then I can use the clone to restore it back to original one. So at this time, I'm going to log in. As you can see, there was two accounts here, and I choose the account Wahidullah, which the user ID is Wahid in this case. So right now I'm having this interface, as you can see, and I have the terminal here. I can click on the terminal. If I just say ID-UN, it shows that I'm logged on as Wahid. And if I just say my print working directory is home Wahid, today's date is there, and then calendar, today is Thursday the 13th, and it is around 11:23 Pacific Standard Time, Southern California time. So I'm going to save that information in this directory that I am. So this time, instead of doing a PWD, I could just say hostname, and that hostname gave me the hostname. So I'm going to say hostname, but say greater sign. I'm going to say info.txt, just for the clone part of it. And then now I'm going to say PWD. I actually do ID, -un, and then double greater sign info.txt. The reason I say double greater signs, I want to append to the end of that info.txt. That's a greater sign. And then I could also do calendar, and then double sign info.txt, and then also date, double greater sign info.txt. Now, if I say cap -n info.txt, you can see the commands that localhost is the output of the host name, and then the ID-un shows Wahid, and then the calendar command is showing, and then the last part is the date command. So those are the 11 lines of output from the previous command that I created. And then the file info.txt, you can see it is created here with a timestamp of this timestamp that it was created with user ownership of Wahid and group Wahid. So I'm good to just create the clone. I'm going to exit out of this. I don't need to just do the rest of them. Everything is good. You can create the file anywhere you want as root or as a regular account, as long as you just create that file. And when you create a clone, you just verify that that file is there. So I'm going to log out first. Once you log out, then you can power off the machine safely. Right now, you can see these two accounts are there. I'm going to log out. Now power off. Power off will just bring the VirtualBox interface and shows that this machine is power off. Now, I told you that I created that file for the purpose of clone. Why do you create a clone? If anything happens to this one, then I have to troubleshoot it, fix it. But if I just don't have the time to look at it and figure out, oh, well, I want to just go and save and point on one point, then it is the VirtualBox interface provide you the interface to just create the virtual machine and then clone it as well. So the clone could be restored at some point back if you need to. And then the software VirtualBox, if you go under the About VirtualBox, you can see the version that I have is 7.0. And you can always go to say, apply the update for the VirtualBox, check for update, but I have done that one last time, so I'm not going to check that one. I'm going to create the clone on it right here. And by right-clicking on it, I just choose the second option here. Under the setting, it says clone. Control+O also does that. And then the name that here automatically, it says, well, since you are creating from the clone Rocky 92, it says Rocky 92 dash, clone. You can also say dash date or something, whatever you want to just give it a snapshot there. But I already created a file. I say this name is meaningful. I will keep it like that. And then this is the path where the clone will just be created. And then I'm going to just say next here. And since this is there, the option are there. Let's see why it is not. Oh, and because I just click on it, I did not write anything. So it says, oh, you want to give it a name. So if I say clone here, and maybe there's a name already with clone dash 2, I'm going to just say dash 2 because the first one was already there. So I need to delete that one. If for some reason you just are in the middle of the clone and then power went out or something, that clone was not created. Now the name is there. You have to delete that one there. So once you just give it a new name, and then it's going to check. If you just give it anything with that name, and then after -1, it's going to be okay. So I'm going to just call it -2, just for the sake of the previous one. Later on, I'll delete it. Now this is checked, and then you can have the next button here that is there. And then I want to just do a full clone. So I click finish here. And right now it's going to take the clone. It says copying the machine. Notice how fast it is there. So the clone is already made here, and it is power off. So this is the first machine that I clone from, and this is the second virtual machine that is a copy of that one as a clone of it. as the name stands. So clone 2, I'm just going to start that one to see if the original machine that was coming, if it is accurate the way the clone was done, and my timestamp of that file could verify that one. So right now it should come up with 2 accounts, which it does, Wahidullah and Ali. And then I'm going to log in as Wahidullah, which is the user ID Wahid. The real name is Wahidullah, so the full name. The short name is the account name. So here the interface is the same thing that I got last time. So I'm going to click on the terminal, and notice the terminal is the same thing. So if I say host name, the date command and calendar command, all of that is there. But in order to just double check it, since I brought it up, I'm on that directory. If I say ls-l, there's that file info.txt that I created earlier. So as you can see, more info.txt, it has that information. Notice the timestamp that I did at 11:24, that file, and info.txt has the same 11:24 there timestamp, and now the time is 11:30, 6 minutes later. So this good that is that file is verified and all the account is good. I'm going to exit out and then say that's great. This clone was successfully made, and it is just a clone of the other machine. So I'm going to log out first, and then power off. Once the machine is power off, which is very fast, now this is already made. And so let's create a clone of the next one, which is algorithm. I'm going to just do algorithm clone. We already have a clone of this one, so I'm going to just create a new name on it. So I say clone, and then again, you can bring the Red Hat machine and do the same thing, which I think I have downtime. So I want to show you before we clone it, how to start it. So this is algorithm is the host name, and this notification that shows up here, you can check the notification so you have the full screen. And this is the Red Hat machine, I believe. Algorithm is the name of the host name that I named it after Al-Khawarizm, the great Persian mathematicians. So here I'm logging in again as Wahidullah, and then I'm gonna just, as you see on that machine, I have more than one user account, and this one is a Red Hat, as you can see, the interface Red Hat 9. And notice the interface here. So right here, I say pwd, and then ls-l, I don't have that info.txt. So I'm going to say host name, and you can see it gave me the localhost local domain on this one. I'm going to say greater sign, and then say info.txt again, or let's call it clone.txt. And so we can just create it whatever name we want to create it. And then say a date, double greater sign, clone.txt, and then a calendar, double greater sign, clone.txt, and then echo, let's say clone will be created. You could say whatever you want, and then double greater sign, clone.txt. So now clone.txt has that file, and then if I just say cat -n clone.txt, you can see I did create that file, and clone.txt is the timestamp is as of 11:33. So I'm going to exit out of this one and then log out here and say power off, log out first. The reason I'm creating it on all three of them, so you know how it is easy, and how the functionality of VirtualBox is providing all that greatness. So now I have this one, I click on clone, and then I just say -2. Since I have clone already, I'm just gonna give it a -2 name, and then I say go ahead, create it on this directory. I say next, and then say create a full, click on finish. Now it's creating it 74%. Depending on the size of it, of your VirtualBox, the disk, VMDK files, and it will create it as fast as it's possible. So right here now I have algorithm, the second one, and that is there. I'm going to start that one by clicking here. I should get the 3 users first to verify that it is there. And that's the 3 users. And then I'm going to log in with this user. And as you can see, I'm logged on successfully. So the interface is there. If I just open a terminal, ID-UN, and then I see a calendar, date, host name, and then since I'm on this directory, ls-l clone.txt, that file is created, cat-m clone.txt, you can see that is there. So we verified that is all good. Our clone is the backup of as of that minute or that 11:33 that we created. So we're all good. I'm gonna log out, and then I also power it off. So we just showed you 2 of the virtual machine that we created, and notice that I have a big list here now that I can create it. If I don't need a clone, that I just save the space or something. Since I created 2 of them, and it was just for demonstration purpose, I'm gonna just delete this number 2 and that I just created here. I'm gonna just delete it for now because I could have a better interface here to show you. So I'm gonna just say remove that one. And when you remove it, even though the title of the topic is just showing up to create clones, I'm going to also give you as a bonus how to delete the clone if you have multiple copy of it. You don't want to have too many copies. And now it gives you, when you click on the remove, notice here, I right click here and I say remove. When you click on remove, it gives you option delete all files or remove only. If you want to keep the VMDK files and other ones, you could click on the remove only. But I don't need to keep all the stuff, so I'm going to say delete all files. Now I have the previous one that I have as a clone of it, and then for Rocky 2, and it's okay. This algorithm is already have a clone, so I'll keep those 2. For this other one that I have, MyWebUniversity, which is Linux Ubuntu, I'm going to start this one and click on the start button. Then this is Linux Ubuntu. This one, when it comes up, I click on show to see the interface. And this is the interface of VirtualBox Linux Ubuntu. As you can see, it's a little bit different because it is the distribution is Ubuntu distribution. So I'm logging in. And you can see it has a nice interface. And this one, if I just open a right click here and say open a terminal, this terminal comes in. Notice that desktop is all kind of really good in terms of the customization. And that's as a result of this $PS1, which is saying that give me the user with this color and then add host name. And this /u is giving you the user. App is the app, and then /h give you the host name, and then after that one /w give you the home directory that's tell that. So clearing the screen here, I'm gonna just say I'm on the desktop directory. I cd to the main directory. Now I'm on the home directory of this. So if I say id -un and I say id or get n password and then $, id-un, I could see that my home directory is /home wahid. And then if I just want to do a grep -i on wahid, you can see those areas are highlighted in color. If I just want to say, give me the home directory, I could just say grep -i and $home. So that one will also highlight the /home and color. Some of the dynamic things that you can generate that apply here. This command also you can just do a backtick here, and that would be equivalent to the above command. So some of those commands are similar, and you can also replace this one to hard-coded username like Wahid here. And then if you want it for a different user, you could say, let's say root, and then it will just not give you because I'm logged on as Wahid. And if I just say sudo su dash, and then I have the access privilege to log in as root, and then I could run this command now, get and password root, and then if I just do that one, it tells me, and if I say grep -i $home, it will just give you that in color /root. So you echo $home also give you the same thing. And if you wanted the color, obviously if grep -i root, then it will just show the root is in color. So there's a number of things, but the job of this one is to just create a clone. This time I'm going to create that file rather than the regular user. I'm going to create it at root level. You can create it anywhere you want when you're logged in as a root. So I'm going to just say hostname, clear screen hostname, and I'm going to say hostname cpl command, a number of things here. So at this time, I'm going to say, let's create a couple of commands. First, hostname is there, hostname ctl is there. In order to just run these ones rather than doing a double greater sign, I'll show you another technique. You can capture your commands using a script. So I could say clone-info.txt. So now by doing this one, I say a script clone-info.txt. Now I say hostname. Whatever I write this command is also written on this file clone-info.txt. id-un get n password root, and then let's say id-group name, and then hostname we did date command, calendar command, who is logged on, who am I. If you log in through its essential that who space m and space I will give you that information. That's good enough to just do it. Now I type in exit, the information, notice it says exit, a script done. So clearing the screen now, I have a file called clone-info.txt. So if I do a more on the clone-info.txt, you can see all the output that I did on those ones based on the timestamp and everything. If I want to see cat -n clone-info.txt, it also shows you by line numbers. So since that file is there and this root directory, all I have to do is look at that clone-info.txt later on to see if that file is under the root directory here. Okay, so let's just do exit out of this and then exit out. and we say log out, power off first. And now, since I did not log out, immediately power off, it just powered off. So I could now say, right click on it and say clone. And then the clone is there. Notice since I have another one with dash clone already, I'm gonna just say -2. Create a new there. The name is checked. I'm gonna click next here, and then I'm gonna create a full clone. Again, those are the default options, so you could just do it. And then here, this one is going to be created. The size of this clone is a little bit bigger, so notice that the percentage is moving a little bit slower in comparison to that one, because the size of this disk, I believe, is 100 gig rather than smaller gig, 20 gig on those other ones. But it doesn't matter, it's going to be not too long. It is going to be done in less than a minute. As you can see, it's already done. So now we created the clone here, and you can see the clone is there. So I'm going to just say start that one now. I should have the Linux Ubuntu with that file created at the root. And to verify that one, I have to log in as myself first, and then switch user with the root. So I'm going to close that notification, and then this interface comes in. And now the account is there. I'm going to log in. Nice, and it comes out exactly the same interface that we had. I'm going to right click, click open in terminal. And this terminal, you have a shift control plus, and you can just do a software update, download that. This time I don't need to do anything, so I'm going to just cd to the dot. And notice that this directory that I have here, I have the same thing, host name. Was showing that MyWebUniversity as the host name. And so in order to verify, I'm currently log in as Wahid, as I saw it before. But I need to become root first. So what user do is su dash, and when I put the dash, it's going to change my profile to root also. And so I'm going to log in there, and notice my different working directory is /root because I put this switch user to dash, meaning that we run the profile of root, which runs the profile for root, and I get pinned password root was telling me that I'm running bash. So on the profile under root, there's a .bash or C script file. And based on that one, it just run this file, cat.bash or C. It is that information, and then echo $PS1 is saying that /u is root, and then /h is app host name, and then tilde is home directory. So that's the /u/h and /w give you this information here. Tilde is the home directory, and then the pound is at this time it's exclamation mark. Pound is for root, since the user is root. And then we could just see at this time the file that was there. So I told you that under the root directory, I created this file called clone-info.txt, ls clone-info.txt. You can see the timestamp of that file is just July 13 at 23:42, and currently the timestamp is 11:48 Pacific Standard Time. So that file is good, and then I'm going to do a list -l again on that file, and this time I say cat -n clone-info.txt, and you can see all the files information with the host name and all the details that I captured. it is exactly the same. So we're successfully creating the clone. The clone is there, and then the file clone-info.txt reveal that information is accurate. So we're all good. Now I'm going to exit out of this, and then just say go ahead power off, and then you see power off here. Last time I did a power off without log out. I'm going to log out first, and then I'm going to power off. That's a safer way to do it. And then this time I'm going to say power off, and it will be done. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned it. We created based on the this documentation, clones of RedHat VM, clone of Rocky Linux VM, and Linux Ubuntu. Just to recap why you create a clone, it's just in case if something happened to your main server and then you don't have the time to just go back to see what happened, why you cannot restore it back to original state. You are using the clone to just get it. And from that clone, you have a golden copy because you have made a lot of backup and a lot of things. You just create more virtual machine, and you can even do OVM files or other ones and export the appliance as Oracle virtual appliance there. So at this time, we have showed you that. I hope you enjoyed it, and you're going to just go to our channel to subscribe and make more comments and watch all these videos and enjoy it. Have a good one. God bless you all. Take care. Bye-bye.